I know it may sound weird, but I actually do not like to go out to eat at restaurants. But I absolutely love appetizers, so I wanted to figure out how I could make my favorite appetizers at home quickly in my air fryer. So I'm gonna show you my top 5 appetizers, all in the air fryer. And it's not gonna matter if you have an oven style or a basket style, I'm gonna give you the cook times for both of them. We're gonna start off with mozzarella sticks. So mozzarella sticks took me a while to figure out because once I put them in the air fryer, all the cheese would just melt right out. So I did a little research, and once I figured out the trick, they work out perfectly. So the first thing you're going to do with your cheese sticks is put them in the freezer. They recommend no less than 30 minutes, but mine have been in there for at least 24 hours. Now we're gonna get our dipping station ready. I've got 3 eggs, we're just gonna whip them up. For your breading, I'm just gonna be using seasoned breadcrumbs and seasoned panko, but you can change it up. You can try it with Cool Ranch Doritos crumbs up or nacho cheese Doritos. I've seen it where people do it also with Cheetos, or if you like them really hot, you could try the fiery Cheetos. I'm just gonna be doing a half and half mixture of the breadcrumbs and the panko. Maybe. Mix them up. Once you have that ready, you can grab your cheese sticks. I'm just using, I don't know how you pronounce it, Frigo cheese heads fun snacks, and I also have just frozen ones as well. These ones aren't really a brand, just any type of string cheese works. I found them easier to work with when I cut the cheese sticks in half. Now, could I have done this before I put them in the freezer? Yes. Did I? No. But you can still cut them when they're frozen. So just cut them in half. For these, we're gonna be double dipping them. So we're gonna do egg, then bread, back to the egg, and then bread again. Once you have them all breaded, you're gonna wanna give them a spritz of oil. I'm just gonna be using olive oil on all the sides. I'm gonna be using the basket style air fryer this time, but if you're using an oven or the Pampered Chef one, you're gonna put them on the middle shelf, set it to air fry for 5 minutes, and you do not need to flip them over at the halfway point. Now, for the basket style, they do recommend preheating it, so I'm gonna go ahead and select air fry for 2 minutes and let it warm up. We're gonna do air fry for 4 minutes, and you do not need to flip them. Start. And now you have nice hot mozzarella sticks that you could serve up with marinara or however you prefer to eat them, and they're ready to go, and it was really quick and easy. And they weren't cooked in a vat of oil. You cooked them in your air fryer. Yeah, there's cheese in them, but they're a lot healthier for you.
There's cheese in them, the freaking cheese sticks.
Next up is mini pigs in a blanket. I'm gonna be using 2 types of Smokies. I'm gonna have little Smokies, and I'm gonna have cheddar. Are they called cheddar? What are they called? Cheddar little Smokies. I thought it was cheddar little Smokies. I like to open up the little Smokies before I get my crescent rolled out. I'm using the sheet crescent dough, and then I'm gonna cut it up using a pizza cutter. Before you start assembling them, you're gonna wanna spray either your tray or your basket with a coat of oil. This one has a little extra. You don't want a lot of extra on the bottom because it won't cook very well. If you're like me, you might want to put the regulars on one side and the cheddars on the other, because I personally don't like surprises when I bite into anything. But if you like a surprise, go ahead and mix them up. If you're using a basket style, you're going to want to set it for 330 degrees for 6 minutes. In my oven style, we're going to select custom, drop it to 8 minutes, and 330 degrees. Start. If you're doing a lot of them and you're doing maybe 2 trays, just make sure at the halfway point you rotate them. You'll see they stuck a little bit, but I still prefer to do it this way. I did try it on parchment paper and they just didn't crisp up really nice on the bottoms, so I think it's worth it to not use parchment paper. Now my favorite one, artichoke dip. I prefer to make this one at home because I don't like spinach in my artichoke dip. You can add spinach to this recipe, but I like to leave it out because I just don't like the taste of it. Truthfully, I'm the only one in my house who eats it, and I'm totally okay with it because it's quick and easy in the air fryer, and it just means more for me. If you buy artichokes in the can, you're gonna wanna use a whole can for the whole recipe. I buy them in a big jar, so I'm gonna just measure out a cup and then chop them up. Go ahead and drain your artichokes. These are full artichoke hearts, but you can buy them quartered in half. You're just gonna chop them up finely. Once you have them all chopped up, move them to a bowl. If you decide to add spinach, I would stick with that 1 cup measurement. And you're gonna wanna probably buy it frozen because it's already cooked, thaw it out, make sure you squeeze all the liquid out, measure it, add it in. Next, a cup of mayo. I'm just using regular Hellmann's real mayo. And then a cup of fresh Parmesan cheese, not the stuff like in the bottle, like shake cheese. You want it to be fresh. You don't have to freshly shred it at home. You can buy it already shredded, but just not the stuff that comes in the plastic bottle. Next is gonna be fire roasted diced green chilies. I like it mild. If you want something spicier, of course you can get it hot, but this is what I prefer. For a full recipe, we're just gonna put the whole can in. Mix it up. I'm just gonna be pouring it into the pan here. It's about 6 by 8.5. Links for everything I used are in the description below. I like making this in the air fryer because in the oven, this is gonna have to cook for about 30 minutes, and in the air fryer, it's only gonna take us 15. I did try it in my basket air fryer, but with mine, it just sat too close to the element, so it ended up burning before it was finished cooking. So if you do have a different style, you can give it a try, but I would start at maybe 8 minutes. So we're gonna put it on the bottom shelf. We're gonna select air fry, 12 minutes. And you don't need to do anything at the halfway point. Super quick and easy, and now you're ready for a midday snack. I like to have it either with like little naan, or I like the pita thins from Stacy's. You can also eat it with the big ones, but I like the thins because then I don't feel as bad when I eat this. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. These are my husband's favorite, and I like them too. The last time I made them, I ate too many and I gave myself a stomach ache. We're gonna be making cheddar and bacon mini twice-baked potatoes. First, we're gonna get our bacon cooked. You can do this any way you prefer, whether it's on the stovetop, in your microwave. I'm gonna be doing it in the air fryer on a mess catcher. Since they are mini, you aren't gonna need many slices of bacon. I'm just gonna be doing 4. Now I am gonna go ahead and move my air fryer back towards my stove. I like when I have things that can either smoke or have a smell to them to put it near my stove so I can turn the vent on and that the smell can go out. Do not put it on top of your stove. You might accidentally bump a burner and you run the risk of melting your air fryer, and we don't wanna do that. And set it to air fry. I like mine at 12 minutes, especially for this because it gets crispy so I can chop it up. While the bacon's cooking, we're gonna go ahead and get the potatoes ready. I'm gonna be using mini potatoes. These are a petite gold gourmet potato. I'm gonna rinse them off first. You don't want teeny ones, like ones, because you're gonna be scooping the inside out. So like I probably wouldn't use this one. So you want them a little bigger. Poke them with a fork, and then I'm gonna put them in the microwave for 5 minutes. All microwaves are different, so just check yours every now and then, just to make sure they don't explode in your microwave. What?
Did they explode?
Oh yes, I had one explode on me. So once your bacon's done, whichever way you chose to cook it, just set it on a paper towel to cool until we need it. I was told my bacon looks burnt. I think it looks perfect. Do you like your bacon crispy or do you like it floppy? I don't like floppy bacon. I like it to be crispy and like melt in your mouth. So once your potatoes are done, you're looking for just like a baked potato feel to them. You want them soft, but you don't want like your finger to stick into them. We're going to be cutting them all in half and scooping out the insides into a bowl. And now we're gonna take the skins and we're gonna set them upside down on our tray because they're gonna be going back in to get nice and toasty. Once you have them all on, we're gonna spray them with olive oil and then add salt. For a basket style, you're gonna wanna air fry them for 4 minutes, and for an oven, I'm gonna put them on the middle shelf and air fry them for 5 minutes. While your skins are crisping up, we're gonna go ahead and get the filling made. First, you're gonna wanna chop up your bacon. Now to the potatoes, I like to add 2 tablespoons of butter. I eyeball my heavy whipping cream, but it's probably about a tablespoon. And some salt and pepper. And you're gonna mash it. So you're pretty much turning this into mashed potatoes that we're gonna stick right back in. So if you have a different way you like to make your mashed potatoes, you can make them that way. And let me know in the comments what you do. I love mashed potatoes and I'm always willing to try new things with them. Now we're gonna mix in, not all the bacon because we need some for the tops. So maybe half of it. And I would say about a half a cup of shredded cheese. I'm just using a Monterey Jack right now. You can do whatever you want. You could use a Gouda would be good with the bacon, or Fontina, it's kind of up to you. We're gonna mix that together. And if once you mix it, say you're looking at it and you think it needs more bacon, you can add more bacon. If it needs more cheese, add more cheese. I think this looks perfect. Looks like a good, even mixture. Now your skins are hot again, so I'm just gonna take it, set it on a paper towel, and then you're gonna wanna take a little scoop, slide it right in, put it on a tray. You can wait for them to cool, but if you wanna get them done and get to eating them, you can do it while they're hot. Now, that bacon we left over, We're going to take, not all of it, probably about half of it. And with these little ones, I found what works best is to mix the bacon with the cheese. And then we're gonna put a little bit on top of each. It's gonna be messy. It's okay. Air fryers can be cleaned. Just a little, set it on top. Do that for all of them. You can always come back and add more. I usually start with a little less. Now, could you just have one pile of bacon and one pile of cheese and take a little from both? Yes. I'm a creature of habit, and that's how I do it. Now they're gonna go back into the air fryer. In a basket, it's gonna be air fry for 3 minutes, and in an oven style, it's gonna be air fry for 4 minutes on the middle shelf. We'd already crisped up the shells, and now we crisped up the tops with a little bit of cheese and bacon, and they're ready to go. They're so good. I just recommend not eating too many. My favorite appetizer to get when I go out to eat are fried pickles. I love fried pickles. For this recipe, you can use your pickle of choice. I personally prefer the Claussen pickles. They're the ones that come right out of the refrigerator. I've gone ahead and gotten paper towels all ready to go. So I usually cut off just the end part. And then you don't want to slice them too thick and not too thin. So I would say about 1/8 of an inch. You want to slice the whole pickle like this. Once they're sliced, just lay them out on your paper towel. Once you have them laid out, you're gonna set the other one on top and just push. You don't wanna push too hard because you don't want to squish them. That helps keep your fried pickles crispy, not soggy. I like to wipe off the pickle juice off my cutting board so I can use it once I have them all breaded. You're gonna need 1 egg. Just gonna whip that up. I'm gonna be making 2 types of fried pickles. One with just plain panko, no seasoning added in. Once I have about half of these pickles coated, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna add some Creole seasoning and some parsley to our leftover crumbs so then we can make kind of a spicier one. You're gonna need a 1/2 cup of just plain panko breadcrumbs. There's no seasoning in these. Now you're gonna take your pickle. I usually put a few in the egg wash just so they're there ready to go. Cover them with the egg, pull one out, set it in your breadcrumbs, and then I put it on top and I push down. This helps the breadcrumbs to really stick to the pickle. There you go, nicely breaded. If you were gonna do all these plain, you'd go ahead and just do that for the rest of them. I'm gonna go ahead and do half of them and then show you what I'll add in for the seasoning for the spicier pickle chips. So I've got all the ones I want plain breaded, and now I'm gonna show you how to make it just a little bit spicier. I am gonna add about 1/4 cup more of the panko breadcrumbs, 1/2 teaspoon dried parsley, and now the Creole or Cajun seasoning depends kind of on your taste. I'm gonna be adding a 1/4 teaspoon. If you like it even spicier, you of course can add more. Stir that all in. You're gonna do it the same way you did with the plain ones. Dip it in the egg, squish it into the breadcrumbs. Once you have them all coated, before you put them on the trays, we're gonna coat them in a spray of olive oil. Olive oil is gonna help them crisp up while they're in the air fryer. And since we want both sides crispy, we're gonna flip them over and do the same thing again. Once you have all the sides sprayed, you can go ahead and put them on your trays. On the middle shelf, we're gonna be selecting air fry, and we're gonna change it to 8 minutes. At the halfway point, you're not gonna have to do anything. You don't need to go in and flip them over. They come out nice and crispy without being flipped. And out they come, all nice and crispy. I wish you guys could smell them. They smell so good. If you end up trying my recipe, let me know which you prefer, the plain or the slightly spicy one. So those are my top 5 air fryer appetizers. Did I leave one out that you really enjoy? Let me know in the comments. I'm always game to try new things. If you liked the video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. And maybe you have a friend looking for some appetizers. Feel free to share it with them. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.